Vingegaard's wife criticizes team strategy, Niermann responds. Jonas Vingegaard responds to wife's explosive interview 2025 Tour de France. Jonas Vingegaard addresses wife's viral criticism of Visma team. Jonas Vingegaard's wife slams Team Visma, pushing him too far. Vingegaard's wife criticizes team strategy, Niermann responds. It stings when your loved ones feel like the price of your ambition. But here's where it gets controversial. Trine Vingegaard, wife of two-time Tour de France champion Jonas Vingegaard, is openly challenging his own team, Visma Lease Bike, for pushing him beyond his limits. Jonas plans his entire season around one event, the Tour de France. Every training camp, each altitude stay and every rest day is mapped out to win that yellow jersey. But and this is the part most people miss, that relentless focus means he rarely sets foot at home, and it's taking an emotional toll. Trine's worry is simple: Jonas is burning the candle at both ends. Sure, you can schedule workouts and recovery in an Excel sheet, but that spreadsheet can't measure mental fatigue, the comfort of familiar routines, or the boost of a family dinner around the kitchen table. Ignoring those human needs, she warns, can backfire on even the best athlete. She insists true renewal happens in Denmark, not tucked away in high-altitude camps for 3 weeks at a stretch. For Jonas, a quiet evening with his family recharges him more than any mountain plateau ever could. And when the team books sponsor appearances and media obligations, Trine questions whether autograph signings should ever trump bedtime stories and backyard soccer games. Unlike many pro riders, Jonas values privacy and personal downtime as essential parts of his training. Trine even points to Tadej Pogacar's squad as the blueprint, one unshakable leader, and zero doubt about roles. Riders like Wout van Aert would put aside their own stage win dreams and pour every ounce of energy into supporting Pogacar. She believes Visma should adopt that single-minded approach if they truly want to maximize Jonas's chances. Team director Grischa Niermann didn't take these comments lying down. Speaking to Danish TV2, he acknowledged that conquering cycling's biggest race demands sacrifice, and argued that the bond between Jonas and Visma is stronger than ever. He also defended Wout van Aert's freedom to chase personal goals, pointing out that a motivated Van Aert was crucial in 2022, when he juggled green jersey ambitions, and still helped Jonas win on Hautacam. Here's a provocative counterpoint. Does granting teammates individual targets actually sharpen their support for the leader? Or would a more unified game plan, sacrificing all other goals, push Jonas that extra mile? We want to hear from you. Should an athlete's family life be sacrificed on the altar of victory? Or must teams adapt their strategies to the personal needs of their superstar? Voice your thoughts below. Are you Team Trine's plea for balance, or do you side with Niermann's demand for total commitment? Jonas Vingegaard responds to wife's explosive interview 2025 Tour de France. Imagine being in the midst of the most prestigious cycling event in the world, the Tour de France, and having to navigate not only the grueling stages, but also the media frenzy surrounding your personal life. This is exactly what Jonas Vingegaard, the Danish leader of Visma, is facing in the 2025 edition of the Tour de France. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the chaos, Vingegaard remains cool and composed, even when confronted with an explosive interview his wife, Trine, gave to a Danish newspaper. The interview, which criticized Visma, has become a hot topic in Denmark, but Vingegaard's response is a masterclass in calmness. I didn't read it, he says, and this is the part that most people miss: his ability to stay focused on the race, even when his personal life is under scrutiny. But what's really going on here? Is Vingegaard's calm demeanor a sign of strength, or is he just avoiding the issue? And this is where the controversy begins. Should athletes be expected to comment on their personal lives, or should they be allowed to focus solely on their sport? Vingegaard's wife, Trine, had criticized the amount of time he spends away from home, which is a common challenge many athletes face. However, Vingegaard's response is telling. He acknowledges the difficulty, but emphasizes his commitment to his training and his family. On the bike, Vingegaard and Visma showed they had everything under control, almost. They had planned to ride for Wout van Aert, but when he didn't have the legs to make an impact, they switched focus to ride for Vingegaard and Matteo Jorgensen. In the end, it was a good day, even though they would have loved to win with Wout. Vingegaard even launched an attack himself in the final kilometers, showcasing his explosive power. But here's the question: can Vingegaard maintain this level of performance throughout the Tour, or will the pressure eventually get to him? And what about the role of his wife, Trine? Should she be expected to keep her opinions private, or does she have the right to speak her mind? These are the questions that will continue to swirl around Vingegaard as he navigates the Tour de France, and we can't help but wonder, what do you think? Should athletes be expected to comment on their personal lives, or should they be allowed to focus solely on their sport? Let us know in the comments. As Vingegaard himself said, "I've done 2 bunch sprints now, so I guess I'm a bit of a sprinter." But in all seriousness, Vingegaard's ability to adapt and perform under pressure is a testament to his skill and dedication as a cyclist. And as we watch him tackle the challenges of the Tour de France, we can't help but be impressed by his calm and composed demeanor, both on and off the bike. Jonas Vingegaard addresses wife's viral criticism of Visma team. "I am fully aware that Trine stands by me without reservation, but I choose not to engage with the media while I am competing," stated Jonas Vingegaard in response to his wife's viral remarks regarding Team Visma's management of his career. During the second stage of the 2025 Tour de France, which took place on a Sunday afternoon, Jonas Vingegaard became a focal point of conversation, not solely due to his impressive performance, where he secured a third-place finish, but also because of the discussions ignited by his wife's recent interviews in the Danish press. In this stage, he was narrowly outpaced in a challenging uphill sprint by Mathieu van der Poel and Tadej Pogacar. The majority of the chatter surrounding Vingegaard revolved around a series of interviews featuring Trine Vingegaard Hansen, where she expressed her concerns about how Team Visma is managing her husband's career. "From my understanding of Jonas, I believe the team is pushing him too hard at this point. I worry that he is exhausting himself on both ends," she shared with Politiken. "People often overlook the fact that there is a human being behind the athlete, and it's crucial to consider how to bring out the best in him. This situation could potentially lead to negative consequences." In another interview with Jyllands-Posten, she elaborated, "With 2 children at home, he often feels like he is missing out on family life. This reality must be balanced against the joy he derives from cycling." In many respects, the countdown to the end of his cycling career began when we welcomed our first child. After finishing third in Stage 2 of the Tour de France, Vingegaard was approached by reporters who inquired about his wife's comments. He responded, "I know that Trine is completely supportive of me, and she will do everything in her power to help me achieve my best performance. Her intentions are always in my best interest. However, I haven't actually read the interview. I've only caught snippets of it, so I'm not entirely clear on what was said. I tend to avoid media coverage while I'm racing." Shifting the conversation back to the Tour de France, Vingegaard expressed satisfaction with his performance in Stage 2. "I felt like I was really in control and performing well out there. That's why I attempted to make a move, because I was feeling strong," he explained. "My legs were in good shape, and the team executed exceptionally well once again today," he concluded. Jonas Vingegaard's wife slams Team Visma, pushing him too far. When a Tour de France champion's wife publicly accuses his team of overworking him, you know the situation has turned serious. Trine Vingegaard Hansen's explosive revelations about Team Visma's treatment of her husband Jonas, a two-time Tour winner, aren't just stirring Danish headlines, they are sparking global debates about athlete welfare, work-life balance, and whether cycling's hyper-competitive culture is pushing stars to breaking point. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't about burnout from racing alone. The real tension lies in how modern pro cycling clashes with basic human needs. Jonas Vingegaard, celebrated for his family-first values, has long maintained a shorter race calendar than rivals like Tadej Pogačar and Remco Evenepoel. Yet according to his wife, the Danish climber's employers at Team Visma Lease a Bike are demanding sacrifices that go beyond sporting commitments. "The team is treating my husband like a machine rather than a human being," Trine declared in a bombshell interview with Politiken. Her words hit harder when she added, "I fear they are burning him out from both ends, professionally and personally." Here's the nuance most fans miss. While Vingegaard avoids the Spring Classics grind, Visma's training demands keep him away from home for months at a time. High-altitude camps in Spain's Sierra Nevada mountains, often lasting 3 weeks, regularly separate him from Trine and their 2 young children. Jonas doesn't recharge by living in a hotel with teammates, his wife insists. He regains his strength in our quiet Danish home, surrounded by family traditions. This isn't just sentimentality. Experts note that emotional stability directly impacts athletic performance, making this a legitimate sports science debate. And this is where the story takes a wild turn. Even during rare home moments, the team's control extends into their personal space. When Jonas decided to renovate their kitchen, installing cabinets, and laying hardwood floors himself, the organization reportedly expressed frustration. "They wanted him resting for some upcoming event," Trine explains, "but rebuilding our home together was medicine he desperately needed." Should elite athletes be denied basic life experiences their fame steals from them? The question lingers. But the most jaw-dropping revelation. When Vingegaard crashed out of Paris-Nice with a concussion, his own family learned about it through TV broadcasts, not a direct message from his employers. If your workplace called itself a family, but didn't inform you about your spouse's medical emergency until hours later, how would you feel? Trine challenges. This communication breakdown highlights a systemic issue in professional sports. Where does team responsibility end and personal accountability begin? Perhaps most poignantly, Trine reveals that becoming a parent changed everything. In many ways, Jonas's retirement countdown started the day our first child was born, she admits to Jyllands-Posten. This isn't pessimism, it's realistic calculus. Every Grand Tour victory comes with a cost: missed bedtime stories, lost playtime, and the quiet erosion of normalcy. So here's the dilemma for fans. Do we cheer louder when athletes sacrifice their family lives for yellow jerseys? Or should teams like Visma rethink their expectations in an era where mental health matters as much as physical prowess? What do you think? Is Team Visma pushing Jonas Vingegaard too hard, or is this just the price of greatness? Should modern cycling accommodate athletes' personal lives more deliberately? Share your take in the comments. This conversation needs you.